Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out. This is my first time doing a live stream. So anyways, the main reason I wanted to do this is because I want to know what all of you would like to see taught online. Inshallah, hopefully we'll have some classes in the near future. So I'd like to ask everyone what they would prefer, whether it be a particular subject, particular book, whatever it might be. Please just leave a comment, and we want it to be as beneficial as possible for the people. So please, your feedback is very much appreciated. So I didn't want to just take the live stream down right away. I want to see how many people might actually join in and see if we can get some interaction going on. John. Yeah, we have we have exams starting tomorrow, inshallah. Taking a little break right now from studying. So I'm just doing some experimentation, because the main thing I like to do is record videos, but it takes a long time to basically plan them out, write a script, record it, edit it, upload it. So I've been fiddling around with some other things as well. Like I just made an Instagram account. Because it was much easier to just take pictures of the different books we're studying and say, we study this in Tawheed, we study this in Sirah, rather than make a video about it. So just doing some experimenting. jazakumAllahukhairan for your support. Man. So in the meantime, if depending on how many people are watching or how many questions, I'm just gonna answer some questions people have sent to me. Many people send questions either through comments or through email. So the first one I'd like to respond to is Salam, bro. I was wondering what your vision is for this channel. What is the end goal? What do you plan on achieving with this channel? I'm interested in how you plan on growing yourself and your channel to do good. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Basically, the main thing I would like to do with this channel is I would like to be able to make videos full-time at some point, because I have so many ideas. As you can see, a lot of the time I'll start a series and then I'll only do an episode or maybe 4 or 5 episodes, and then I'm on to something else. And that's just because I only have a very limited amount of time. And at the moment, I'm just trying to experiment, see what works, what doesn't. So when I post videos, I'll see how many views it gets, how many people like it or dislike it or comment, how many people donate to the GoFundMe as a result. And I try to gauge the different things I'm doing with my channel that way. And rather than just focus on doing one thing at a time, I'm trying to, when I get inspired to do something, I try to work on it while I'm inspired to do it. And then, inshallah, if I reach a point where I can do this full time, I can always go back and finish the different things that I started. So, one thing I definitely want to do is give da'wah to Muslims and non-Muslims. I'd like to teach classes. I'd like to teach Arabic. I'd like to give people an insight to what it's like studying in Medina. Because basically, I just want this channel to be sort of filled with things that, if I weren't me, if I was in the States or I was somewhere else, what would I like somebody in my position to do? So I just try to look at it that way. Like, I always wanted to know what it was like to study in Medina. I always wanted to know what people were learning, the different experiences they had. And even the interviews I do with people, I'm curious about the different students and their experiences. So that's basically what I'm trying to do with my channel. At the moment, I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm trying to get other brothers involved in teaching different classes, inshallah. That's why I'm asking about what classes you guys would like to see. Hopefully we'll have some classes. I'm just trying to utilize technology. I mean, alhamdulillah, it's so easy nowadays to just record things and put them online for free. So I'm just trying to take advantage of all of that. And I feel like it's my responsibility as someone who Allah has guided and given this opportunity. So that answers that question, inshallah. Let me check the chat room. Yeah, Arabic is definitely something I want to do. You know, I started off doing learn Arabic through prayer, and I think I did about 4 episodes of that. But I didn't get too big of a response from it. It's something I definitely want to finish because I feel like it's the most practical way for people to learn Arabic because we pray every day. So if we learn Arabic, based on what we say in prayer, that seems to make the most sense. But it might be a little bit too advanced. So then I did intense Arabic because I didn't want to teach the letters because there's already so many different resources for learning how to read. So I decided, okay, if I'm going to teach how to read, let me do it in a way that appeals to people that all these other things might not appeal to. So I was a little bit, intense or silly, a little silly with it. Just trying to be entertaining and engaging because, believe it or not, there are teachers in the Jamia here in Medina who they're the same way. They're entertaining, they're funny, but at the same time they teach you very important things, and they know how to sort of walk the balance between being too goofy and too silly and being too serious and too monotone. So that's sort of what I'm doing with Intense Arabic, and it's gotten a lot of good feedback. A few people are a bit critical of it, which I understand, but a lot of people seem to like it. Because I always tell people when I go back to the States, for example, I'm like, you got to learn Arabic, and I tell them about websites like LQ Toronto, and people, they'll say, I've sat and I've tried to watch it, but it's just not, I just can't focus. I'll sit and I'll put on a video, and then my mind will just wander, So that's why Intense Arabic, I'm trying to keep your attention, basically. So definitely I want to finish doing that, doing the Arabic. And I definitely want to interview more students. I ask a lot of students all the time to do interviews, and I have some, inshallah, that are going to happen soon. But people, they get busy, all of us are busy. Like the brother John said, pass your exams first. I got a final tomorrow. Everyone's studying, everyone has things they have to do. But inshallah, interviewing is something I plan on doing long term. I don't ever plan on stopping that. I really enjoy interviewing people and giving them a platform because everyone has a story, and I meet so many people that have so much potential in terms of just their wisdom, their life experiences. Everyone has a story, so I try to interview people and learn from them and get inspired and motivated. So, all right, let's see what other questions we have. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are well, brother. I have been watching your vids on YouTube recently, and mashallah, they are really good, especially the ones where you are showing different parts of Medina University and giving a sort of walkthrough. The reason I've emailed you is because I've applied for Medina University, and I recently got an email in Arabic from the university in regards to updating my info on my application, and also I might get an interview. If I do, they will send an email with date and time, and I'm guessing through webcam because I was asked on the application form, do I have access to a webcam? Also, I've heard that they want to try doing interviews via webcam. I was wondering if you could help me in terms of what questions will be asked, or can you find out for me, please? I really would like to study the Arabic language. Brother from the UK, barakallahu feekum, may Allah make it easy for you. Wa alaikum salam. So the thing, a lot of my emails, a lot of questions I get are about applying to the university. So to respond to all of them right now, I would just like to say, unfortunately, please forgive me, brothers, but I just cannot keep up with everything that's going on with the applications because it's just it's stressful, it's difficult to understand, it's time consuming, things change all the time. So I really don't know. If I don't respond to you, it's not because I'm, trying to be selfish or anything. Please forgive me. It's just the amount of headache one has to go through in order to try to go and figure out what's going on. A lot of the people in administration, I think, don't even know what's going on in terms of the applications and this and that. So my advice, I guess it's done online now. I don't even know how it's done anymore. I think it's done online. I never really looked at how it's done online, If it's in Arabic, then I just recommend that you find somebody who knows Arabic who can sit down with you and help you out, and do what they tell you to do online. Basically, it seems like from the U.S. no one's come in quite a while, so I don't know what's going on. I've asked around senior students, people, no one seems to really know what's going on, but it does seem like hopefully, inshallah, soon they will start accepting people from the U.S. again. In terms of the questions they might ask you, I can only tell you what I was asked. I was interviewed in like 2009. This was before the online and webcams and things like that. And I was a new Muslim. I barely knew anything. I had a translator there with me. And basically, I just tried to convey to the person through my translator that I just really wanted to study. I've been Muslim for about a year. All I wanted to do was study Islam. I'm very passionate. I'll do whatever it takes. And then he just asked me to recite Surah Al-Fatiha and the Tashahhud, and it was very simple. That was my interview, because I was at such a low basic level that I guess those were some of the only questions that they had for me. The person who I made Umrah with and who also interviewed, he was far more advanced than me. He had memorized much of the Quran, so they quizzed him on, they asked him to recite some of the Quran from memory. So Allahu Alam, that's my only experience with it. May Allah make it easy for you. Check the chat again. It's another question I get a lot about female studying. There are no females allowed on campus at the Islamic University of Medina. It's all men. There are definitely places for women to study. There are places for them to memorize Quran. There are places for them to go and study Arabic language and different subjects. But in terms of there being an actual Islamic university, like women coming and studying in the Islamic university, that doesn't exist. It's only for men at the moment. I don't know if they will expand for women. I hear that Al-Qura in Mecca, they have a place for men and women to study. I guess like married couples, but I don't know too much of the details about that. That sort of leads into another email I got. Someone was asking, let me see. I'm from Turkey and my husband wants to study at the Islamic University of Medina. We want to ask you, where could we stay there as a couple? Are there dorms for married couples, or do we have to stay in a personal house? If the answer is house, how my husband could pay the bill when he's a student? May Allah bless you. Wa alaikum salam. Allah bless you as well. Yeah, so couples here, I believe that they do have housing for students, but it's very limited. I mean, even the housing for students, single students, is limited. They even many of the students now live off campus. They have student housing off campus. I think your best bet is to get an apartment off campus and pay for it yourself. I mean, that's pretty much the struggle when it comes to having a family here in Medina, is that you have to sort of fend for yourself. You have to find a way to pay for your rent, to take care of your family, transportation, food, the apartment, furnishing the apartment. The Jamia, if you're a single student, they inshallah, they will take care of you in terms of giving you enough money and resources to survive as a single student, for sure. But they won't do that for married students, and that's a big reason why many of the married students, from my experience over the years, is they'll leave early. They'll come sometimes for a couple months, sometimes for a couple years, but then they'll leave because it just becomes too difficult to try to make money, to try to take care of their family. It can just be very difficult. But many of the students that do it, if you're from the West, inshallah, you can tutor English. There are people who have different businesses. They might sell dates. They might sell cakes and cupcakes. They might get assistance, have a GoFundMe page. Sometimes their parents, their family, their communities will support them. So you just got to try your best, inshallah. But if you do have a family, you can't really depend on the university. I guess you can apply for assistance. You can apply for Jamia housing for couples, but a lot of the times that stuff can take months, if not years, to actually come to fruition. All right. Taiba University, yeah, there are many different universities for women here, but in terms of an equivalent, like if you're a male Muslim in the West or in many other countries, you can apply to the University of Medina and they'll bring you here, they'll give you a visa, they'll give you residency. I don't know of a female equivalent in Medina for that, but if you are here, if you're here with your husband or you're here maybe through a company teaching English or something like that, then there are other places you can, inshallah, go and study, but I don't know of an equivalent. Um, I heard it has been like 4 years that they haven't admitted students. It seems like they, inshallah, are starting to send emails to people that applied. And I think they maybe even added to the American list a few names. So I think, inshallah, that they're going to start accepting students again. But like I said earlier, I really can't keep up with everything, you know. Alhamdulillah, when I first came, there was a student who he really tried very hard to create an atmosphere for the students to be structured, the American students in particular. There was a website, a blog, and there were classes, and this individual really had connections with the Jamia and keeping up to date with everything, but he graduated years ago and nobody ever filled his shoes. So it's hard to answer these questions, you know. It's just not very clear. But inshallah, if you're patient, make dua. I mean, the reality is if you do end up coming here, you're going to need to have patience. You're going to need to exhaust all your resources anyway. So it's like training almost, you know, whatever you're going through now in terms of having to wait and having to try to figure out, you know, how to get answers to these questions and figure out what to do. You're going to have to do the same thing once you come. So it's sort of like a good way to train. Allah bless all of you. Allah make it easy for all of you to seek knowledge and to give da'wah. Someone is concerned about getting their bachelor's and then coming to study and forgetting everything about their bachelor's. Yeah, that's a legitimate concern. My advice is just apply, you know. I mean, don't count your eggs before they hatch, as they say. Like, if you really want to study, then apply, see if you get accepted. If you do, then take it from there. If you don't, then you don't even have to necessarily worry about it, you know. Wa alaikum salam. In terms of connections and recommendation letters, I mean, there are some brothers I've talked to, they got like really good recommendation letters from like, you know, people who might have a high rank within the Jamia. And then there are other people like myself. I just asked anybody I could. I was a new Muslim. I'd only been Muslim a couple months. I just went to my local masajid. I was like, I want to apply. Can you write me a letter? Can you write me a letter? So just do your best. You know, whatever you can do. The thing is that sometimes people, they want recommendation letters from people they don't know and people that don't know them. And that can be problematic because how can someone recommend you if they don't know you, you know? So my advice would be just find whoever's in your community, people who know you. If there's an imam and he knows you and, you know, you've sat with him and, you know, just get it from them. But if you can get it from somebody who might be famous, a world-renowned sheikh or something, and then of course you'd want to get one from him as well. You know, just try your best, and then just put your trust in Allah. Upon graduation, what opportunities for da'wah is there for a graduate? There are a lot of people who they graduate and they join the secular workforce. And then there are other graduates, they become imams, they become Islamic school teachers. So there are people who in the past, they have created institutions, you know, that have at this point become world-renowned institutions. Some of them are very wealthy, mashallah. So it really depends. I think it depends on what you're willing to do once you graduate, you know. Do Do you want to just be a dentist, be an engineer after you graduate, work in IT? Do you want to be an imam? Do you want to start your own business? You know, Allahu Alam. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everybody. Should recommendation letters be only from Salafi sheikhs because there are only Deobandi masjids in my community? Look, when I first got my recommendation letters, I didn't even know about all these different sects and stuff. Like, they were probably Deobandis who recommended me as well, you know. Like, Allahu Alam, the different. Just do your best. That's my advice, you know. Just do your best. I think, you know, it's sort of like a job application. Think about it from the university's perspective. They have a certain amount of slots to fill. They want to fill it with people who they think will, you know, they'll get the most from, you know. They don't want somebody to come and then they're lazy, they're not interested, and they leave, you know, because then they're wasting thousands and thousands of dollars. And, you know, so I would just say make them know that you want to study, that you want to learn the deen, that you want to dedicate your life to this. And part of that is also starting now. You know, like, you can't just say, I want to study in Medina and I'll do whatever it takes, but you've been Muslim for the past 5-10 years and you're not studying wherever you are, you know, because there's no guarantee that once you come you're going to like studying, you know. See if you like learning Arabic. See if you're capable of sitting there and struggling with the Arabic language, with memorizing Quran, wherever you are, you know, because then you can say, look, you know, I've memorized Quran, I've studied, you know, locally for 5 years, I'm fluent in Arabic, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you'll probably make connections by then. So recommendation letters and this and that, you won't even have to worry about it, you know. So that's my advice. The list of Imam Saud University. Sorry, Akhi, I don't know anything about the lists. Not even of Medina, let alone other colleges. Is there a lot of racism in Saudi? I'm not going to speak ill of Saudi, you know. Some people, unfortunately, they come to Medina and they come to Saudi and they, as the saying goes, the glass is half empty, the glass is half full. Like, I'd be optimistic about it. People who come and they're very critical of Saudi and they just see all the bad about it, they usually leave shortly afterwards. So, alhamdulillah, there are great things about Saudi Arabia, particularly Islam. I mean, that's what it's really all about. You know, you have the Prophet's Masjid in Medina, you have the Masjid in Mecca, you have the Kaaba. I mean, they call the adhan, the women cover, the food's halal. Alhamdulillah, there are bookstores everywhere, there are shayukh everywhere, ulama, students of knowledge. This is what it's all about. So there's no reason to focus on the bad. Especially as a guest in their country, I'm not going to sit here and speak bad about it. But not that it's a valid question, you know, forgive me, I'm not trying to be rude, but that's just my advice, you know, is to just try to be optimistic about things. Must one grow beard when you go to university? I haven't seen that as a requirement. Like, I haven't seen anyone go around checking beards or anything like that. But I would think if you're a student of knowledge in Medina and you know that you're supposed to grow your beard, that you would do so. Especially if you're in Medina and you're not in a place where they're going to oppress you for growing your beard. Alhamdulillah, you can grow your beard here, you know, so why wouldn't you? Can a person older than 25 apply? Yeah, you know, they say there are certain restrictions. I think they say that if you're, you know, 25 is the cutoff, but there are exceptions to everything, you know. So just do your best. The purpose of this live stream, I want people to tell me what classes you would like to be taught, what classes you would like to see taught online for free. any books, any subjects. And I'm also just testing this out. I've never done this before, and it could be potentially an easier way to answer questions rather than replying to emails and things like that. Let me see what other questions there are. I'm gonna probably go soon. I think most of the questions are about applying and about family situations. Yeah, so I think I answered all the questions. So unless you guys have any more questions, sorry. I think I think I was just sitting here looking around for the first minute or so because this is my first time doing this. I wasn't sure if it was working or not, but maybe maybe we can do this again sometime, inshallah. If I'm 17, if I continuously apply until I'm 25, will I get accepted? Allahu Alam if you'll get accepted, but if you really want to come here and study, I would do that. I would keep applying and I would keep studying and keep preparing. And inshallah, if you want to study and you make lots of dua, inshallah, Allah will provide a way for you to study. It might not be best for you to study. Allahu Alam. Like for example, my brother-in-law Omar Shatila, he is inshallah he's going to be teaching classes with the Institute soon, and I have some videos with him. He applied, mashallah, tabarakallah, he's one of the most knowledgeable brothers I know. I think even if I were to graduate from Medina with a master's, I still don't think I would be as knowledgeable as him, and he hasn't studied in Medina, he hasn't studied abroad, but Arabic is his first language, and he's really dedicated much of his life to studying the religion just on his own time. And he applied to the university. He wanted to study here, and he didn't get accepted. But instead of coming here and studying, he did a lot of great things in the U.S. He helped establish masajid. He's helped manage Islamic schools, and he's helped double the attendance in certain Islamic schools and things like that. So maybe, we plan, and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. So it might be, you just have to have trust in Allah, do whatever you can, but also just be satisfied with the qadr of Allah. Yeah, please keep the suggestions coming. Even if even after the live stream, if you see this late, please still comment. I think we can post live stream videos. So, jazakumAllahukhairan. All right, jazakumAllahukhairan. Thank you everyone for your participation. Please keep the suggestions coming, and maybe we will do this again sometime, inshallah. Allah bless all of you. Barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.